The reason why we keep doing videos on this subject is because more news keeps breaking. And look, it's no secret. This administration has been really rather terrible in handling this whole Jeffrey Epstein case and the files and everything that's associated with it. We've talked about this in several different videos, but we have a Truth Social post that Donald Trump himself posted, and we're going to go through this just briefly. Now, he starts off talking about left Democrats. He says they have hit pay dirt again, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore it come from Russia, yada, 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 yada. But this is where it gets interesting. He says, also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Then he says, the new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And then he says, and my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. Again, very, very interesting. So what he's saying here, I guess you are a past supporter if you do buy into some of the narratives surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case, or I guess you are more interested in really finding out the truth about it. You're a past supporter. But what he's doing here, it's not out of pocket for him. This is something that Trump does. Gives it a catchphrase, hoping that it catches on, and oftentimes that it does. I don't know if it's going to work this time, because really what he's attempting to do is maybe try to make this go away, and he's pinning this on the Democrats, as if the people that are prying for more information or think that there's more to see with this, that's the Democrats doing. And because he's defining it as a hoax, meaning that it's fake, well, it's just going to go away. Look, I'll let you guys that are Trump supporters handle how you feel about whatever with the past supporters thing. What I will say is this. Politically, this is a bizarre strategy. And that's the reason why I don't believe in this 4D chess nonsense, backgammon bullshit, because it's trying to suggest, or folks are suggesting that, well, no, he's really trying to get them to talk about it more. Well, if you just look at that through the political lens, that is very stupid, because he's going to give the Democrats a victory if they do uncover that there's a bunch of nonsense, no matter who it incriminates, because I don't think the people care about that. Whether there's an R next to their name or a D next to their name, as this thing I'm about to talk about here in a little bit, it's a unifying issue. It doesn't matter if it's someone that you generally support, if they turn out to be an absolute, weird dude, not a weird dude, a criminal, one of the worst folks to exist, scum of the earth. If you're talking about people that are child sex traffickers, so what? They deserve to be under the prison. Doesn't matter if you were supportive of them before. I don't think people actually give a crap about that. So you're handing them a political victory if you're like, oh, well, I'm trying to get them to talk more about it so stuff gets uncovered, especially before the midterms. Well, you're just going to allow them to be able to take credit for this information coming out. So it doesn't really make any sense, and that's why I don't believe that. Also, again, talking about this being a more unifying issue, this did just break as well this morning that the Epstein Files Transparency Act is now a thing. It gives the DOJ 30 days to release everything: flight logs, FBI files, the immunity deals, the names, the cover-up, everything. And it's introduced by a guy that Trump has not been fond of, and Thomas Massey. And if he really wants this to go away, he's especially not going to be happy with him now. But hey, he's a Lindsey Graham guy, so don't primary Lindsey Graham. Instead, he wants you to primary Thomas Massey. Like I said, this has been an interesting case because they've handled this terribly, and a lot of it's self-imposed, right? These are unenforced errors coming from this administration. Now, I have seen that this has been a big issue for a lot of people, and understandably so. I want to reiterate that it makes sense why people care a lot about this. It's one of the more damning things. One of the, you have this guy, this finance guy, who's connected to all these uber powerful people. We've seen the pictures. We know that he's been around some of the most powerful people. Not to say that everybody that's been around him is also sex trafficking. I'm not saying that by any means, but I find it hard to believe, and I think the American people find it hard to believe that, well, he was the only one involved. In fact, the original indictment suggested other people are involved. There are known and unknown individuals. So it's not just Ghislaine Maxwell. That's why they care. Nobody wants to be ran and controlled by a cabal of scum of the absolute earth. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. And people can look at, juggle two things at once, or carry two things at once, however you want to, whatever your analogy may be. They know that there's other things that the country is suffering from, and they want that to be resolved. But to act like that, like they can't also focus on this, is just crazy. So like I said, politically, this makes no sense. Terrible move for them. They've been handling this just as terrible as they possibly could.